The sound effects in a movie are just as important as its visuals. That's why a great deal of care goes into sound design, layering up several sounds to make a simple sound even better. But how do you record a sound that nobody's ever heard before? Like, for example, a T-Rex roaring. You'd think a sound that big would have to be made by recording a huge volcano or a massive explosion. But you'll be surprised, as here are some amazing Hollywood sound effects that aren't actually that amazing. Terminator 2. It would probably be illegal to recreate this sound for real, as at the start of the movie we see a Terminator crush a human skull with its foot, outlining how bad the future really is going to be. But how did they actually achieve this epic skull-crushing sound effect? Did they do it by crushing a motorbike helmet with a tank? Well, no. They actually just did it by crushing a pistachio nut into a metal plate. It still looks epic anyway. The T-Rex. What does a T-Rex actually sound like if nobody's ever heard one before? Well, sound designer Gary Rydstrom came up with his own interpretation by slowing down sounds of alligator hisses and roars, tiger snarls, and even a baby elephant. Through enhancing and blending all of these sounds together, Rydstrom had created the sound that we all know today as the iconic T-Rex's roar. The stone boulder. Remember that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indy's being chased by a giant stone boulder? Well, obviously it wasn't really a stone boulder, so to use the sound it really made would have been a bit naff. Instead, sound designer Ben Burt used a Honda Civic station wagon riding over some gravel, without the engine running, to recreate this iconic sound, making the boulder seem a lot heavier and more realistic than it actually was. The Balrog. What does a Balrog sound like? A tiger slowed down? An elephant and a tiger mixed together? Maybe the slowed down sound of a muscle car revving its socks off? Or maybe just a sound of a concrete block dragging on the floor? Yep, David Farmer used this to recreate the sound of the Balrog, which it actually does very well, despite how unexciting the idea of it sounds. But for the roar, he used donkeys and horses, and actually managed to come up with something quite effective. The Ring Wraiths. The high-pitched scream that puts everyone's hair on end is enough to send shivers down your spine every time you hear it. But perhaps when you find out how the sound was made, it'll change your perception and make you smile instead of wince, as the sound was actually made by scraping some plastic cups together. That actually also sounds like a room full of angry toddlers. Now that is scary. Lightsabers. Ben Burt is the man responsible for the original sound effects of the lightsabers, which he made by recording the transmission signal of a cathode ray tube television and then just simply mixed it together with, two different pitches of the hum of a simplex projector. All he had to do then to create the movement was simply play the combined sound through a speaker and then record that sound with a shotgun mic waving in front of it, that when combined again with the original sound, gives you your face-changing lightsaber whooshing sounds. Easy, really. AT-AT walkers. Here's another quick Star Wars one. You hear that sound? That kind of clunky sound is made by a metal-cutting guillotine. But have another listen to that kind of moaning sound before it. You can hear it better in the newer AT-M6 walkers. Yep, that's a lion roar. Now you know it, you can't unhear it. Sorry. Which one of those sounds did you think was the least amazing? Have we changed your way of seeing these movies forever? Let us know in the comments below.